Hey, it's Greg Milby, Kentucky's Heartland, at kentuckysheartland.com, sharing the stories, people, and events powering the Heartland. And today we are featuring Heart of the Heartland. And wow, look at here. We have our local celebrities with us today. How odd is that to say?
It feels wrong.
Yeah. Chase McKeown with us, Nicole McKeown with us, and we'll do it official where they can see your name. There's Chase, and there is Nicole. And as I like to call you guys, you are the crime-fighting lovebirds. How crazy has the last 4 days been with you guys?
Absurd, and I've been through a lot of coffee.
Yeah, you got one now, which is good.
It's been incredibly exhausting.
I can say, we'd originally talked about doing this interview, and then all of a sudden this thing exploded today.
Yes.
How many interviews have you done today or with stations and news outlets around the world?
I think, counting this, I think we're at either 6 or 7, somewhere in that ballpark.
And then you've got another one tomorrow?
One for sure, maybe 2 or 3. I'm not really even sure. We'll take it as it comes.
All right. So let's go back Saturday night. Actually, let's go before that. Because Friday was Valentine's Day.
Yep.
Would you like to know what we did?
Yes, I would like to know. Because remember, we are all friends. This is a Facebook Live video. And by the way, this was live. And if you're watching on YouTube or kentuckysheartland.com, you missed out because there's no safety net here.
Nope.
It's just us among friends. Now, I don't want you to be 100% you.
Okay.
Because I know you. But be about 80% Nicole. So let's talk about Valentine's Day.
So the PG version then.
The PG version.
Okay. We made burritos and watched The Office.
Yeah, I think that's
Yeah,
pretty much
that's
it.
about it.
That was it.
Yeah.
Best kind of Valentine's Day.
Well, there's nothing wrong with that.
Not at all.
Okay. I use the excuse that every day is Valentine's Day. That's why I don't do a lot on Valentine's Day.
I use that from now on.
You can have that one for free.
Appreciate it.
So it wasn't that you both were working on Valentine's Day. You just didn't.
No,
Didn't want to do
Didn't want
anything.
to do anything. Yeah. We're
Okay.
relatively reclusive.
Okay. So Saturday you decide, okay, hey, let's go to Louisville, go to Raising Cane's, because I know you both are big Raising Cane's chicken fan. Matter of fact, did you go right after your wedding?
Yeah, we got married, went up to Louisville, changed at the hotel we were staying, because we were staying in Louisville before we flew out. And we went and got some chicken tendies.
Some chicken tendies. That's great.
I saw something hashtag that.
Saw it.
So you go there, and you decide to go to Louisville to eat just because you wanted to get away.
Yep.
Yeah.
I do that sometimes too because nothing against people.
No.
I'm a people person, but there's times I like to just go somewhere and really not know anybody.
Mm-hmm.
So that was your plan?
That's usually what Louisville is for us. Just
So
get out
did you
of-
go somewhere before that? Did you go to a movie? Did you go shopping? Or
Just went and hung out a little bit and then finished off with Cane's.
okay. So you just kind of minding your own business on a Saturday night, and all of a sudden, here comes this guy in. Now, before we go any further with that, let's do play-by-play of the action. Are you ready for this? Have you done play-by-play yet for anybody?
No.
This is awesome.
No.
Okay. All right. So on the screen here we go. There's the play-by-play. So here comes bad guy. So what did you know? Who noticed first?
So I think he'd been like standing there for a little bit.
Yeah. So you can see here, he pulls the gun out. At one point, he's going to rack the slide. He looks like he's getting mad and racks the slide. And to that point, we hadn't noticed. He was very quiet.
Because I think she was having issues trying to get the till open, if not mistaken. Because I saw when I saw her with her hands up when I first started paying attention, she had like one of those little manager cards in her hand. I can't remember if it was that female or if there was another one, but yeah.
And then
Right about here is...
who notices first?
It was almost the exact same time. I looked and she looked at me and says, "Is this what I think it is?" And I told her to call 911 foolishly.
Is that where she's sliding something back across the table? That's your phone?
That's
yeah.
it.
So, of course, you know I was dispatched before this,
Yes.
and I was almost insulted. I'm like, no, I'm not calling 911. Somebody else can call 911.
You're like, I have been waiting a long time to.
Yes.
This is not what I don't call people and answer calls anymore. I go.
Yeah. pretty
And
much.
so you knew she wasn't going to call.
I did
911
as soon as I let go of the phone because I passed it, and as I'm passing it, I'm saying, "Hey, call 911." And as I'm letting go of the phone, I realized she's not going to call 911. She's going to have her gun. She's going to go too.
What that initial delay was, I like touched it. I'm like, no, we're not doing this.
Yep.
All right, so before we continue on with the story from that point and how you apprehend said criminal, because we can't talk a lot about, I guess, the incident itself because
Right.
it's still...
It's an ongoing investigation
Right.
through Louisville Metro.
But honestly, I don't really want to talk about him. I want to talk about you guys anyway.
That's fair.
So, at the press conference, Nicole, you told me that somebody didn't want to bring their gun with them on Saturday night. Who would that somebody be? So why exactly did you want to not take your gun? Was your hip hurting or what?
How old do you think I am, Greg? No, it was nothing like that. It was other people have. No, it was nothing at all like that. And honestly, it wasn't that I didn't want to. People who know me know that for years I've carried pretty much any time I leave the house, the firearm goes with me. I never expected it to be needed for something like this, but that's always been my mentality, is to be ready. And the simple fact is my holster that I used to carry had a Velcro clip to attach to my belt, and the Velcro the glue had failed on the Velcro, and I just didn't feel like dealing with it. I said, I'd take care of it when we come back. We're going to Louisville. It's not like we're going to see somebody we've arrested or anything like that. I'll just deal with it when we get back so we can go ahead and get on the road. Mm-hmm. At which point Nicole gives me a
Lovingly
look.
say that if I have to save your butt on something, if something happens, I'm never going to let you live it down. Which, ironically enough, he's never living this down anyways.
Oh,
because now
yeah,
it's
there's no
recorded on
doubt.
every-
Yeah. This is a rough deal for you.
Absolutely. I'm just thankful
And that's why I wanted to bring this up, because I just,
Absolutely.
Yeah. So she convinces you to take your gun along,
Yeah.
but you don't take the regular holster.
No, I did.
Okay.
I sat down, and this is one of, there's been so many conversations about this. There were so many factors in this story that were clearly God ordained to put us there at the time that this happened. Mm-hmm. We were going to go to Louisville. We weren't going to go to Louisville. We were going to go, I think twice we decided not to go. We just wanted to have another chill out night. Mm-hmm. And then finally we decided, well, let's go ahead and go. There was a couple from church that was going to go with us as well, and they honestly just decided they weren't feeling it and decided to stay home. We get to Louisville, we've circled parking spots for a while. I don't even remember what else, but there was probably a dozen factors that changed our timeline. Otherwise, we would have been at Cane's. Well, we left 15 minutes late because I was fixing the holster. Mm-hmm. And probably a dozen factors I could sit here and list off that any small change to those factors would have put us there 20 minutes earlier, half an hour later. Like she said, he was quiet when he was in there. Mm-hmm. And if we had left the house 5 minutes earlier, we'd have been out the door. We'd just finished our food.
So he didn't pay any attention to anybody when he walked in the door, it looked
Not that
like.
I can tell.
Well, you didn't know. I mean, you
made
guys
a
were just
beeline.
kind of... But you noticed right away the mask?
Yeah, so...
Not right away when he walked in.
Okay.
No. I didn't notice him for a minute because you can see that there was a wall in the video where you've got seating on both sides. So where I was sitting, all I could see was his head. So you got the surgical mask, but of course it's flu season, which I mentioned before, and that's not uncommon for someone to be wearing a mask. It was the employee's behavior that made me realize that something was wrong. Which she put her hands up at one point, and that's when I looked at him and asked him, what do you see? Is this what I think it is? And of course he was able to see that he had a gun from where his angle was. So
Because I'm sure when you go out, you're very observant of things that are going on. And I'm sure for a second, it was kind of felt like it was playing a trick on you, like you were seeing something that wasn't there.
yeah, because we don't want to sit here and hold somebody at gunpoint if that's not at all what's going on, because
Right.
that's absurd.
Yeah.
So it was making sure that what was going on, what was going on.
Now, at the press conference, you mentioned you didn't know, before the video came out, you didn't know what it looked like.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so you both were concerned on what it looked like.
Yeah.
And not so much that it looked bad. We just, on the way home, the whole Monday morning quarterback thing, we're on our way home afterwards, and we were just kind of talking it out, like, what could we have done better? And because what we do, fairly serious field of
Yes.
work, and we want to be the best we can. We don't want to make mistakes. I mean, a mistake in this scenario, if it had been just a flu mask and we misconstrued things and ended up, firing rounds at him, would be it's
Tragedy.
an understatement to say it would be a huge mistake, a tragedy. So we were talking about it on the way home, and what did we do? What can we do better? How do we need to fix what we did in the future, and that sort of thing. And so we were just kind of playing that around, trying to figure out how to make ourselves better in this. When we did finally see the video, and we were able to see what we did, and it's not a bragging thing, but we saw that. Well, other people's words, I've had a couple officers that I went to academy with say, that was tactically sound. You guys did a great job, the way you guys planned to move. And frankly, to us, it's just a statement of how important our training is, because the training took over. We've been asked multiple times, well, what was your conversation? How did you plan this? How did you decide who was going where? And we didn't. And there was no verbal communication of a plan. We just got up and went, and that's all credit to the training.
You guys have never worked together either. I mean, because God love you, you're still on night shift, right?
No, I'm on seconds now.
Man, close
but
enough.
Whenever
Close enough.
Yeah,
It gets into the dark.
pretty much, yes. When I was working dispatch, he was working seconds, and so never worked in the road
Right.
together. And then when I was in the academy for patrol, he moved into the detective's office, so we've never really worked together at all. So that's where it just, training from the same place, we train with the same agencies. That's where that kind of, you fall back on that, because frankly, I don't remember much at all once I drew and stood up to the time we ran out that door. That just goes back to tunnel vision and auditory exclusion, which is normal for situations like that.
Yeah.
You can't really train to not have that. It's extremely difficult unless it's a combat, it's your profession kind of thing. With
So
military.
when the guy takes off running and he drops his gun, did you guys know he had dropped his gun
Yes.
before you went out?
Yeah.
And there's somebody at the door. I when I watched the video, I thought, wow, that's very interesting that the guy opens the door and you guys run out and he walks in to get his chicken, but that's not what is happening in the situation.
And I feel bad for this guy. Most of
Yeah,
the
because
feedback-
he's getting some raw deal here.
Yeah, some people, this guy really wants his chicken. He sees. I've seen several comments. 3 armed people run out the door, and you hang back and decide you're going to go in for chicken. I feel bad for the guy. It's funny, but I feel bad for the guy. He was a big help. If you go back and watch the video again, you see he's outside. You can see this fella outside the door. And you can see him. He throws the door open as we're coming to it so that we can be unhindered as we go out the door. He was a big help. Give him a lot of credit. Had he not been there, things could have gone a lot differently. I don't know his name, and I hate that I don't know his name yet, but I want to give him as much credit as I can.
I'm sure you'll get to meet him. Now, I know if you watch in the middle of the video, too, you can kind of see him walking back and forth before it goes to the camera angle with you
I'm
guys.
pretty sure he was on the phone. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure he was on the phone with 911 or police. So.
So this is a great story to share because the outcome here. But the guy dropped his gun.
Yes.
And so that made the situation a lot easier for you as you went out the door. So you had to chase him a couple blocks.
Just a block, half a block to a
Okay.
block. It
So you
wasn't
can't
too
answer
far.
this, okay?
Yes, sir.
Because I know you. You're competitive.
And I know what question's coming, but
Who got there first?
I don't know because.
Oh, this is
Because here's the
so...
thing.
so now I can make up whatever I want.
Yeah.
I don't remember. I know you. I think you stayed on the sidewalk because it takes a left turn. Of course, sidewalk continues, but there's a steeper embankment up into a yard where he actually ran into the yard up there. So thankfully, it didn't fall on my face when I ran up there. So I had a little bit more of a physical struggle, I would say, with climbing embankments. But
Yeah.
And I'll show you straight.
Hold on.
She's
I'm going to
absolute-
turn to my camera angle and say, Nicole just said she got there first. That's what happened.
So we're going to see another edit of this later, is what you're talking
No,
about.
we're going to
this
leave
is
it
live.
just like
No.
it is. It's fine. So, and so you got there and that's your jurisdiction. So you just hold the gun on him till somebody comes, huh?
Yeah, and that's pretty much all there is to it.
Did he say any? Well, I guess we can't talk about any
Yeah,
of that
we
kind
can't
of stuff.
discuss
So,
those kind of details. He did, but we obviously can't get into the
Right,
details of
that's
it.
good.
But he did, and we just stood there with our firearms drawn for a little bit. She took care of a couple other things while I held cover on him, and it wasn't long at all. Like I said, I believe somebody called 911 pretty quick because Louisville Metro They were on top of it. They did a fantastic job with this. It felt like a long time in the moment, but I'm sure from the time we finished with the running to the time that the first officers with LMPD got there, I'd say it was less than 2 minutes, and they did a fantastic job at that point.
Good. So now let's talk about you guys. How did this happen? I mean, because
Be more
it's
specific, Greg.
well. So I mean, you guys are the crime-fighting Lovebirds now. Look, because they actually got a graphic that says that crime-fighting
Well, it must be
Lovebirds.
true.
But you are the crime-fighting
internet.
Lovebirds, and I knew when I saw this Sunday morning on the news. I told my wife, I said, I know exactly who that was. Because the question was
joint.
the question was like, oh, why would two officers? I'm like, I knew exactly who that was. So, because I know you guys, I think it's great that you were there because you're taking a marriage class, I guess, where it's because marriage class, by the way, is not a bad thing.
No.
It's a great thing. We facilitate one at our church numerous times because it's about working on marriage. And you guys have been married 6 months, and so you were doing that. It was the date night.
Yeah. Yeah, the church, we've at just the very beginning of this month actually finally
You
started.
can say
with
who it
that.
is if you want. You can give them a plug.
Oh, Crossroads Baptist Church.
Right. Pastor Rob, you're welcome.
Rob Summerall might murder me if I don't. throw
Well,
his
you
name
probably
out
want to
there.
murder him right
I
now
mean-
because he's the one that caused you to be there.
Oh, well, I'm going to go ahead and say Randy Pettis was one of the ones that really helped push it as well.
Okay.
So they can pass,
Okay.
they can
Let's
share
just
the
drill
blame.
them all while you got it here.
But yeah, so the Grace Marriage Program is one we just started at the beginning of this month. And that's one of the things that they pushed was important is to remember the date nights. And then, like you said, it's not a counseling thing. It's and I don't remember how they phrase it, and I hate that, but it's basically it's a class to help keep the marriage the focus and to do that in a godly manner. And actually, our pastors insisted that they were going to make sure we were involved in that because it was such a fresh marriage. We've been married just shy of 6 months, and kind of to make sure we start off on the right foot. And so they wanted to make sure we were doing that. But yes, to answer the initial question, this was one of the date nights that was kind of following in with that program to make sure we get one a week, and led to all this. So thanks, Rob.
Thanks, Rob. Because it's always important to continue to date your spouse.
Absolutely.
It is.
Absolutely.
And I think it was great that you guys were doing that. Now, so back to the original question: how did you guys? I know you met at work, but who chased who? Oh, yes.
can
I
just
got
zoom
hold on.
in.
I'm
So
going to zoom in here. There you go. This is good.
So he was extremely shy. Of course, we had a
Chase? Well, really?
Yes. So my way to remedy that was of course, when you walk in and before, from the hallway into dispatch, there's a window. Okay. Where that window sits, I'm going to let you leave that to your imagination on this gentleman here.
It's a large window.
So, to kind of get him to talk sometimes, I would throw pins at him. And sometimes...
Uh-huh.
I did a much poorer job of dodging the pen than I did on the night in question.
Hopefully we're still able to have children.
That's great. So she was pursuing you.
It went both ways, frankly.
I think it's interesting. No offense, because you're high energy.
Sometimes.
I love you, girl. I mean, we go way back. And you're not necessarily high energy.
No, I'm very mellow, very relaxed. I don't get too excited too terribly often.
But the thing is, none of this whole thing is you guys.
Yeah.
So what has been more of a challenge? Was it Saturday night apprehending said cane chicken vandal, or this whole circle?
Foul play.
Foul play.
Foul play.
Sorry.
There you go.
That or the media stuff?
Yeah.
Oh, this is by
Media.
far harder.
Yeah. I mean, I know I may be wiry sometimes, but I'm not a social butterfly.
So nationally, this goes away somewhat quickly because it's the story of the day, the story of the week, maybe the story of the month. But locally, it doesn't go away. You guys are the crime fighting Lovebirds. You need capes now.
For better or worse, I guess that's it now.
That's in the marriage
That
vows.
is. That's-
So you didn't realize
Was not
that was
going
going to be
for
a
that.
but it makes sense now because for better or for worse, either way. So another big important question: did you get to finish your chicken fingers?
Yes.
Oh,
We did.
So
Absolutely.
did you go back and sit down?
No. I mean, like we just finished and
Okay,
we were
so-
packing up, getting ready to go.
Okay,
And
so
that's
it's not
whenever all
like,
this
okay,
happened.
yeah, we got him. Ah, finally sat back down.
That's one of those other factors. Like I said, he was quiet. We had just finished our food. We were getting ready to turn to get up to take care of throwing away our stuff and to leave. And part of that turning to get ready to go was what drew our attention to him. Just like I said, one of the several factors that played a big part. So yeah, we finished our food right before we saw what was going on.
That's good. So has Raising Cane's, have they dedicated that booth? Because Willie Nelson has a booth at Texas Roadhouse.
Well,
I mean, I'm thinking if Raising Cane, if you guys are watching this video, that booth, come on now, you know you want that.
no.
Yes,
no.
you do.
So
The McKeown booth. I mean, and they could put a plaque right there, maybe a picture.
maybe they'll deem it that, but all of this is new to us.
That's why I'm having so much fun with this.
I know it
Because I'm
is.
starting to blush.
Yeah.
This has become, like you said, it's become such a bigger thing than we anticipated. Our thing all along has been we were just doing what we were trained to do. No anticipation of any rewards or even recognition. You said people, you knew who it was right away.
Oh, yeah.
We had people text us, "Hey, was this you guys? You guys in Canes?" And even that recognition was embarrassing to us. This isn't something we were looking for attention from. Canes did reach out and they thanked us at the media thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the Courier Journal put out today that they were gonna give us some free chicken. We weren't gonna throw that out there because we didn't want that to become
Come on.
a
You
thing.
I knew for a fact that you guys were getting some free chicken.
Here's the thing: we'd be there whether we were paying for it. or
Yeah,
not.
know.
exactly.
So
They're
we were
incredibly
looking
sweet.
for nothing out of it.
So I think they should bring one here.
Well, now that I would be.
I'd be
I
on
mean,
pitch that.
you don't have
If
to always
I-
travel to Louisville. I mean, we want you guys to be here in your own town.
If I put the money that I've spent at Chicken Falaw and Cane's, I could probably start my
We'd
own.
probably double the money spent on chicken. I don't think that
Yeah.
Chick-fil-A would be cut back
But,
either.
but are you going to go back to that location?
Oh yeah,
Okay. Because, I mean, when you go in there, it's going to be different.
Well,
it's.
I mean, the memory's there, but it's
Right.
not.
But then the employees, it's different too.
Oh yeah, I mean, I can imagine. For them, like
Yeah.
going to work every single day and going back to normality after something like this, I can imagine it'd be extremely difficult. But
It is an amazing story. It is with a very happy ending.
it is
Which super so happy about that. And I more than anything wanted to talk to you guys and share the story, the fact of why you guys were there and you guys, that's the first time you guys had worked together like that. Which, by the way, you did a fine job.
Well, thank you.
And then you did. I'm glad to know that you did get to finish your chicken and that. So what's next? What's next?
well, I mean, technically, I'm on the clock, so
Oh.
I'm going to work after this.
Oh, Chief Thompson, I'm sorry about that. Yeah. They can't even give you the night off, so we need to call the chief and get that to happen.
We're,
I mean,
Same
you've
as
been working
everything
all
else.
day today.
He's been extremely generous. Oh no, I just came out at 3, technically. So
Oh, but you've been working all day today. You've
No.
been doing interviews. You're representing
this is more stressful than my job.
the agency, and you guys have done such a great job. Well,
well, thank you.
thank you for what you guys do. I know you guys have been working hard, and this is your dream job. I mean, you worked in dispatch for how many years?
Almost 4.
With your eyes set on that, and you did really well in the academy too, if I remember correctly, right?
Yeah, that was an interesting time.
Yeah. But all your training, you guys performed just miraculously on Saturday night, and thank you for being there, and thank you for being you guys. I think it's really cool. So I'm just so proud of them. All right, well, ladies and gentlemen, it is the Crimefighting Lovebirds. This is Chase. This is Nicole. We don't even have last names anymore because you guys are like E-Town famous now.
Yeah, we'll see how that goes.
You're like Abe Lincoln around here. People knows everything. All right, so hopefully we'll get them a booth. We'll let you know on that. Maybe we'll get a Cane's Chicken in the area. I don't know. Keep watching. They're going to be everywhere over the next few days. But the Crimefighting Lovebirds, that is a part of the heart of the heartland. I'm Greg Milby, and this is Kentucky's Heartland.